Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Greedfall. Don't worry about Vasco. Just leaves us open to do, other stuff, which apparently we're not going to be able to do here. So let's go to the. Oh, okay. So before we continue on that, we gotta go this way. Why are we going this way? Let's see. We're gonna finally. We're gonna finally go to Siora's village.
Ah, my child, I'm happy that you are here. I've had an idea that I wish to present to you.
Please do.
I've known the Mother Cardinal for quite some time. She is a formidable woman, gifted and diplomatically skilled. I fear that your cousin might be a little defenseless when dealing with her and would like to give him a few weapons.
What do you have in mind?
Diplomacy is not only a matter of formal encounters and choreographed etiquette. If we had the means to action more personal leverage, the Mother Cardinal could not manipulate your cousin.
How could we ever find anything of that sort?
Everyone has nasty little secrets, my child. It's our task to discover Cornelia's.
Very well. Let's go and discover what the governor would rather keep hidden from the world.
Excellent.
How would you like to go about this?
We must search her apartments in St. Matthias. They'll be guarded, of course. But if we are discreet, that shouldn't be a problem.
This is taking quite a risk. The congregation's reputation could suffer if we're caught, and my cousin's position would be weakened.
I know. But keep in mind that I know the palace extremely well. And if we want to be sure to pass without being noticed, we need only dress ourselves up as servants.
That would improve our chances. Well, let's do it.
Damn, we're not having much luck with our foot fungus. Oh, it's hoof fungus, but still. I need to see foot fungus.
We are arriving in my mother's village. Dead rice. There are wild beasts around it. We must be careful. The guys run. Their spears know how to defend themselves, but we must be careful on the way there. This is where the spears of all past warriors are gathered. The branches are reclaimed by the tree and bring strength to the...
Bird tear to mud. You are Siora's friend. Look, I have beautiful things to exchange. you want to trade again, you know where to find me.
Who do you think you are? By what right do you enter the home of our queen?
I'm the emissary of the Congregation of Merchants. I've come to meet your leader.
Come now, Arwant. You are not a watchdog. Where is my mother?
Siora, I didn't see you. You have come too late. Your mother has gone to wage a war. They left for Didekid Nadagais only a few hours ago.
Oh no. We need to catch up with them and avoid the shedding of blood. Please, haste.
Very well then. Let's be off.
In order to go towards Didekid Nadagais, we must follow the path leading toward the heights into the forest.
Atol on Almanawi.
Here we go. I hope the encoding isn't.
Wait. We should go left here. It's a more difficult path, but it's much shorter.
Look at the tracks. They chose to take the path on the right, it would seem.
Before a battle, it makes sense that they wanted to avoid a path with more danger.
If it is dangerous, let's not risk braving it when time is against us.
We risk meeting a great many beasts. But if we follow the warriors, we risk catching up with them too late to sway them. Thanks for listening to me. I fear my mother may have already thrown herself into the battle. You are too late, Siora. Mother has fallen, and we are defeated. No. This is not fair.
I am so sorry.
Who is this man? He resembles one of us, but is dressed like a Renaigze.
I am the ambassador of the Congregation of Merchants. I'm sorry for your loss.
The congregation? And what side are you on in this war? Those that massacre our people? Eseld, calm down. You know that Mother sent me to seek out allies. You show up when the fight was nearly over. Was this part of your plan? You know that these monsters are taking our own. They must make honorable amends.
We did our best to come as fast as we could, and I fought by your side. Please, please take the time to at least hear me out. There has already been enough death, and you are wounded. This is not the time for vengeance.
You may be right. Waiting for my vengeance will make it taste all the sweeter. I feel weak. Might I ask you to watch over our own Ciora? I must return to the village. Go on ahead. We will tend to the wounded. Won't we now?
Yes, we will do everything we can.
And find my mother. Or her body if she is indeed dead.
Look at this massacre. How?
Find her banner. It bears the symbol of our clan.
Oh, thanks for potions.
This way. There is a survivor. Let's heal him. You now have enough strength to return to the village. Find Arland. He will take care of you. Over there. I think that man is still breathing. Let's make sure. You now have enough strength to return to the village. Find Arland. He will take care of you.
These ruins are very strange. By what name did you call this place again?
There was once a battle in the past. A great victory for our clans.
Strange indeed. These walls are completely foreign to the styles of your own dwellings. Does this name that you gave the ruins mean anything in particular?
Yes. It means ruins of the first guardian.
I would like to dig around a little on this site. We might be able to unearth clues as to who actually built them.
You now have enough strength to return to the village. Find Arland. He will take care of you.
This encoding issue could be fixed.
Another warrior who survived.
I honestly don't know how I can
think that
fix
we will
it.
find any more of them now. We healed them all, thanks to you. May the grass always be soft beneath your feet.
I beg of you, help me.
And still you dare to breathe. How can you hope that I am here to save you?
No,
What have you done with my mother?
pity, I beg of you. I don't want to die.
Then answer!
Ciora. Stop. Look at yourself. You're acting like a beast.
A beast has far more majesty than these monsters who have traded their souls.
They have taken her. The Queen. They took her.
Then she must still be alive. They would not have bothered to carry away a corpse.
She would have chosen death before capture. They must have wanted her alive. We must find her.
If your mother is in the hands of the bridge, they'd have taken her to the closest camp.
Promise me that we will do everything we can to bring her back.
Yeah, I mean, I'd promise if I actually had dialogue. Promise. You know? I don't, though. So, I can't. Send.
May the enlightened protect you in this battle!
Excuse me.
Look, there are some This is the first time I've seen these drawings so closely.
You've never come here. You certainly seem to know the place.
This site is sacred and taboo. Everyone knows where it is, but no one ever comes here. All these colors are so beautiful. I never would have imagined that they could create something so delicate.
Who are you talking about?
Of those who built these lodgings, that my ancestors vanquished in a past war.
You know who they were?
I only know the legend of the Kid and the Daiges.
I'm listening.
It is said our people lived peacefully until the men appeared from the sea, intent on making our lands their own. They dug great caverns into the earth, ripped down our forests, destroying everything in their wake. They were evil. The warriors killed so many people that even their own people came to fear them. Here they built a terrible city that spewed out clouds of cinder and dirt. Our kings and queens were desperate. They went to the heart of our island, and the island heard them. From the woods appeared the first guardian. He was taller than a city, and with each step it smashed a lodging. It was a guardian of Rat, and the city could not resist him. Since then, the earth answers our call for magic, and in exchange, we become all Malawi, in keeping with the pacts our kings and queens once made.
It is a very sad and terrible legend. I wonder who these people from the sea could have been. People from the continent, no doubt. Our Malachor might well be the cursed result of that war from another age. We have nothing more nor anyone else to find here. I must report all we've learned to Constantine. The valley is vast. We should get to a vantage point if we want to find this expedition.
Yo. To do. Hey guys, how's it going? Making it really hard for them to defend themselves. That's a wonderful thing. The harder it is for them to defend themselves, the quicker the combat, the faster the XP, the quicker the video.
Over there. Tents. This must be the expedition's camp.
This is a rather conspicuous place to set up camp.
So what did everyone think the max
Signs
stuff
of
was
combat.
gonna do?
They were attacked. By the look of the tents and the campfire, it dates back several days. It seems they were taken prisoner. I don't see any bodies. No weapon leaves this sort of marking. Perhaps they were wielding magic.
Yes. It is the art of the Donegada. One of the Valley clans was here.
Would you know which one?
One who fights against the invasion of the peoples from your island. I can be sure of nothing more.
Why would they attack scholars? They're not warriors.
They come here as conquerors. This is enough. But they were not killed. Warriors would have been.
This looks like scientific equipment. This must be the Lost Expedition's campsite. This looks like the journal of a naturalist. There are sketches of flora and fauna. There is no doubt. We are definitely on the trail of the Lost Expedition. It seems that one of the team kept a distance from the others. Let's see what we can discover. A trail of blood. That cannot be good. Follow it. A corpse. The clothes cannot be mistaken. It is a scholar of the Bridge Alliance. From the looks of him, I would say he's been dead for days, as we already thought. This isn't the woman whose journal we found. There is still a chance that she remains alive.
This man traded his life for all the suffering of my people.
It was only a scholar, a sage, not a warrior on the battlefield.
Do you think my people see a difference when bridgemen steal our people from their beds? From who do you think all the clans hide their children?
I lean towards Siora's point of view. The practices of these scholars, so-called seekers of knowledge, are barbaric. Teleme would offer you protection and support.
In exchange for our souls. I think we would prefer to go to war.
I'll search the body. We might find something to help us understand. Here is the isolated camp mentioned in the journal. Everything is in order, but the inhabitants are no longer there. Its position would have allowed them to escape the attack.
The view over the valley is magnificent, and makes it difficult for an enemy to approach without being seen.
It is a journal. That of a woman from the expedition, a certain Afra. She speaks of their research and relates here that she felt watched. She feared an attack was brewing. I believe she was right. The writing stops mid-sentence.
These people of the bridge have either just hatched from eggs or are complete idiots. My people are at war. They do not spare an enemy under pretext that they are not wearing the clothing of soldiers.
We must follow the tracks of the attack. They will certainly lead us to our party of intrepid scientists.
This woman was right to fear the Donea Exregao. They must have followed this path coming from the swamp. This is where we should go if we want to find these lion scholars.
Look, those are islanders. They might be from the clan that attacked the Bridger camp.
That's possible. They...
Renaigse!
We won't let you take us. We will not kneel down without a fight.
Wait. We have no desire to fight you. We only want to find the Lion Sages. They are not warriors, but their chief is ready to send an army of warriors to liberate them. If you help us bring them back, you will save your tribe from a costly battle in lives.
He speaks truly. Look, one of them is already eager to bring lion warriors back to us.
All we wanted was for them to tell us where our brothers are being kept.
What good is this if we must leave our camp behind? Very well. Stay away from the main entrance. Our guards will not welcome your arrival.
Pass around. There is a smaller entrance hidden there. The lions are kept in a home in ruins.
There must be a key somewhere to open the door, but I know not where it is kept.
I'm not here to kill you.
Tell me then, what is your intended purpose?
You
We were
see
sent to look for
a
you.
settler out there.
Apologies, but allow me to express my doubts.
After this little swim, you could always try to pull the trigger.
Who sent you to find me?
We were not looking for you in particular, but the entire expedition. It was Governor Burham who asked us to find you. He's worried about you. You haven't been reporting.
You should have said that straight away. I must admit, I was hoping for a rescue. Of a different nature. Do you have a name?
Desade. I'm from the congregation.
The new governor's cousin. Who wears an islander face. I've heard stories about you. And them?
I am Siora, daughter of Bladnid. From the people that your own capture and torture.
I've never taken anyone. On the contrary, we had hoped to exchange our knowledge with your own.
Bishop Petrus, if our young friend hadn't insisted on coming here, I would have gladly let you rot in this marsh.
Behold the charity of the enlightened, huh? This is a rather odd group. I am Afra, a scholar from the Bridge Alliance. It is rather rare to find me rolling in the marshes. I study the fauna and flora of this isle. I should imagine you have many questions.
We saw the site where you were attacked. What exactly happened?
We were taken by surprise. One moment everything was calm, and the next a war party of natives fell upon us. I had an uneasy feeling and kept myself apart, but when I heard my fellow scholars shout, I rushed over. Most of my companions are incapable of defending themselves, and we didn't have guards to protect us. One of them tried to flee, but they brought him down. We decided to give ourselves up to avoid a massacre.
What has happened since the attack? How long have you been in these marshes?
We were taken prisoner and were brought to a village nearby. I was able to escape while the others were taken to a house that they use as a prison. I wanted to join the Bridge Alliance frontier post not far from here, but I wasn't able. So I doubled back to keep watch of the village from a distance. I have been hoping to find a way to free my companions, without any success so far.
Have you made progress in your search for a cure?
We were studying some quite remarkable plants when we were attacked. The region is rife in unknown and novel species. Some seem incredibly promising. The local shamans know all these plants and they use them in their remedies. If only we had been able to converse with them rather than getting ourselves captured.
Could you lead us to the village where your colleagues are being held prisoner?
Certainly. We are oh so very close. And I fully intend to participate in this rescue. I'm not one to sit around and twiddle thumbs.
Come on. Actually run at a decent speed. Why are you just sitting around twiddling your thumbs? Come on. Do something. Don't be useless. Come on. Bit of far distance. Are you coming? Easy. I'm barely even walking and you're taking forever.
This is where the natives took your colleagues.
Yes, it is here. These ruins are being used as a camp by the native raiders.
There are so many of them. Better to remain discreet.
I have spied on the camp and discovered where my colleagues are being held. They are being kept in the old walls of the main ruin. I would rather avoid unwarranted deaths. We should wait until nightfall and look around the camp to find a more discreet way to get inside.
Listen, shut up, Afra. Literally just cost me like an extra 2 minutes of my life because you can't actually walk at a decent speed.
as they were about to lock my companions inside a cell. We're going to need a key.
Please, Honor Manawi, let's try to avoid a fight.
on, move. Really? Oh my god. Passage.
quickly. We don't have much time. Thank you for your help.
Do not thank me yet. We are still in a shipload of danger.
Shipload of danger.
Mercy, you have defeated us. Spare us our lives.
If you spare them, they will only hunt us down until we are all dead.
No, you have our word. We have been bested. We will let you move on in peace.
How can we trust you? You attacked our camp when we were not even armed.
They are savages. They had us caged like beasts.
We only sought to learn where you have caged our people.
Spare their lives. I beg you. They were only fighting to save the lives of those that have disappeared.
Very well. Leave. And I hope you keep your word.
Thank you, Onol Manawi. I have spoken, and I will honor my words, Kwa awalam seg.
We are no longer in danger. Thank you for your help, Desade.
I must admit, the reasons for my being here are not entirely selfless. Your research to find a remedy against the Malachor could save many lives in our cities as well.
You speak like a true man of science. Cut to the point. Then you'll be thrilled. Your heroic efforts to save us from those savages could help. We've made a discovery.
Is that right? In that case, we need to speak with Governor Burham immediately.
Very well. I'll accompany you.
Let's be off.
Hmm.
Sir de Sade and our expedition. I thank you sincerely for having brought them back, Excellence. You are a providential man.
Please, sir. It was you who convinced me and my cousin of the capital importance of their research.
A research that has borne fruit, Your Excellency.
Truly? This is excellent news. You have found a plant with sufficient properties?
Not exactly. Know that during our captivity, an island woman visited the camp. The natives called her Tiena Hac Cadactus and treated her with utmost reverence. I heard them talk about a remedy, a universal remedy it seemed, that she had concocted. How's that? Well, I grasp the basic of the local tongue, and I am certain to have heard the word yag, remedy. Surprising. But the Tiena Hac is very powerful and very wise. It is possible that she did craft such a remedy.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
Also,
I have to go.
Farewell, my lord.
figured to see if you had that quest for me yet. Guess not. You're as useless as you always. Well, the main trigger.
Come closer. Come closer. Oh, you're in.
We're rolling in money again, everybody. We're rich. We're doing great. This thing is barely worse than our thing. This thing crushes our current weapon.
Thanks for your visit.
Anything that speeds to the party farm with me. That's
At the fiery flasks, you'll... Greetings. What can I serve my favorite clients?
your favorite client? That's quite the bold statement. Are you saying I spend way too much money there?
I was honored by your visit. Please come back whenever.
Anything. Yes. And It's gonna help. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, thank you, computer. I can't wait till the day that I can just speak to during the Donnakin. Yep. I think that's the one It's not the one I need. The one I need is this one. Secluded Glade Camp. For anyone that for some reason has not seen the previous video, why we're coming here is it's going to be our best place to run down so we can make some. You see this group of people here? How did I miss them? I was so shocked that I just got a level 25. Oh. Everything we needed too. We could do 3 vigor. There. Attribute. Wonder what I'm gonna go into. Endurance is the next thing I'm doing. These two are the last because I'm not gonna use them. I know. Why abandon magic? I know. What a creature of disgust I am. You know? Throws a bomb that hits all enemies in a large area. Yeah, it's done. So it's just really good at destroying armor. That's what it's for. Starts the fight off by destroying all the armor of the enemy. Main reason why we're, and you might think that that's the only group, by the way. Now there's several groups gonna set up, but I didn't care. These guys, we're gonna, anytime we get into St. Mateus, we're gonna come in here, do this rundown, earn a bit of money. The XP, nice, but like that H are really good to add up. If we can earn like, I don't know, 2 to 300 even more every time we come here, and I'm hoping. That's pretty good for me. Last that we need to hit.
Here comes our pay, boys!
Pretty easy to defeat. Take much effort. Walk it easily.
Don't hesitate to have a rummage. Goodbye. May the enlightened... Don't hesitate to have a rum... Goodbye. May the enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
Got a quest.
It's blocked.
What can I do for you, my child?
I'll see.
Take care, my...
Ah, Your Excellency. The Enlightened must have sent you. I would like to ask a favor of you.
I'm listening.
As you may be aware, we suspected this island might be the one St. Lucius wrote about.
Did you?
We did, but let me explain. This island was where St. Matthias lived at the end of his life, and where he founded a perfect community. Some time ago, we created a village which we called Eden, following his example. We chose this place as it seemed to be the closest to the one described in the Holy Scriptures. It is a home to a community of converted islanders, accompanied and guided in their budding faith by our theologians. As you can imagine, it is of the utmost importance to us, all the more so because we discovered some tablets there which were engraved by our founder.
An extraordinary discovery that confirms your suspicions.
I see you understand. Alas, these tablets were stolen, probably by the islanders who still reject our influence. I know that you are generally well accepted by the natives. That is why I was hoping that you could help us to retrieve what belongs to us.
I suppose I could go to Eden and try and retrieve them.
Marvelous.
They don't.
The leader of the community, Father Justinius, will be able to answer your questions. May the Enlightened assist you in this holy quest, Your Excellency.
What makes them yours? That's the question I have. You know what makes them yours? Nothing. Whether he wrote them or not, he left them on the island, and they're part of the island.
It's blocked.
That is so interesting. The thing is, like, it's not a bad portrayal. That's exactly how it is. They come and they just think it's all theirs because people aren't. The customs they are Because these people here too. Yeah. They are killing bees and balls. That not inside these giant giant walls. As an officially huge government. All these acting parties and a religious preacher giving on. They believe that serves. Sad. But I digress.
This is a very unique place. The smell of stupor and vice reign as its masters.
You're not wrong. We should search this place. It seems that someone forgot their earring.
Ugh, here is an object of more than questionable taste. A woman from a good family would never wear it. It's junk. The kind of thing a courtesan would wear.
I didn't know you were an expert on the subject, Father.
The subject of jewelry?
No, of courtesans. For goodness sake! This room reeks of alcohol.
And not just any old alcohol, if my nose does not deceive me. Cornelia always had great taste when it came to drinking. We are here at the heart of human depravity. Outrageous luxury, excessively priced alcohol, obvious debauchery.
Surely this is enough to incriminate the Mother Cardinal.
No, my child. These things are common in certain circles, even in Theleme, unfortunately. Cornelia may well have organized these things for others. These parties might be of use in gaining some political favor. We must find out who is involved and learn more.
The earring that we found may help us with that. We could ask at the brothel if it belongs to a prostitute. Locked.
This document is highly important. By reading it carefully, you could learn a lot. The Mother Cardinal apparently borrows large amounts of money from a moneylender. Actually, enormous sums.
What's more, she does so quite regularly. How does she manage to give it all back?
And the name Candy Cane crops up several times. Quite suspicious, don't you think?
This sweet person must be doing her huge favors to get these sums. I think we have everything we need. There is probably a connection between these pleasure parties and the account books. Let's ask a few questions.
The moneylender is well established. He can be found near the main square. As for this Candy Cane, the name doesn't ring any bells to me, but the moneylender must know more about him.
We can also go and gather information at the Coin Tavern. Perhaps the manager knows him.
Can I help you?
Yes, actually. I have a small favor to ask.
You don't look like you need money from me.
I've been sent by the Mother Cardinal. She needs money. You know why.
That's unusual. She usually comes in person. Oh, well, business is business after all. What do you want?
She has sent me to find out if she still owes money and to make a little withdrawal.
No debts to settle. Everything is in order, as always. How much does she need? Same as last time?
Yes, that would be perfect.
Excellent. Let her know that the usual conditions apply.
Do you think that will be all right for Candy Cane?
What do you mean for Candy Cane? Good Lord, are you crazy or something? I don't want to know what my clients get up to with their money.
I apologize. I'm not used to this. I thought that...
You think too much. Go and see him, sort your business out, and come back to see me when you know how much she needs.
Very well. Thank you very much.
Can I get you anything?
I'm here for something else. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
If you wish. What would you like to know?
What can you tell me about a certain Candy Cane?
Candy Cane? Everyone speaks about him or has heard of him, but no one really knows him.
And what do they say about him?
Here, nothing. You need to go downstairs for that sort of thing.
To the games room and the brothel?
Yes, that's more the kind of place where they'd talk about him.
You sometimes deliver goods to your big clients, isn't that right?
Of course. The rich don't like to get drunk among mere mortals.
And have you ever supplied anyone from the palace?
Yes, that has happened. It suits them.
And who places these orders?
Well, a steward, of course. Don't you know how things work?
A woman? Dressed in a long green cloak?
No, the steward is more discreet. On the other hand, the person in the big green coat, the steward speaks to her sometimes. They know each other or work together.
Do you think that the Mother Cardinal may have ever been here?
Are you drunk or something?
I have to go. I will leave you to your work. Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
On what would we be betting?
On the fights in the arena. You never heard of them? Quite a few come here and bet fortunes.
And do they win?
A few do. Others have less luck. But they do get the thrill either way, you see. And that's all that counts.
What is this arena?
It's a place of great pomp and entertainment, where all manner of fights take place. Men, women, savage beasts, island monsters. People are coming from everywhere on the island to participate, or to bet.
I imagine that the name Candy Cane rings a bell.
Obviously, even though I would prefer it wasn't the case. He's a sort of organizer. He captures most of the beasts who fight in the arena.
How is that a problem?
Apparently, he's fixed a few fights. These kind of rumors aren't good for my business.
If that's the case, why don't you stop him?
He has friends, protectors. Without solid evidence, no one will lift a finger. And the only ones who wanted to speak of his cartel have disappeared.
Do you know where I can find him?
He often hangs out around the port at night, but I strongly advise you to stay away from the guy.
I know how to look after myself. Thanks for the information. Has the Mother Cardinal ever come here to place bets?
The Mother Cardinal? And why not Saint Matthias himself while you're at it?
I must be going.
Next time, then.
I can't play a game, can I?
May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing.
May the Enlightened bless you.
A feast for the eyes, ladies. So, have you found what you were looking for?
Let's just say that I'm gathering information.
My treasures are worth their price. I promise you that you will get your money's worth. For you, I'm sure we can make a special arrangement.
Here you are.
Thank you, my lord. I'll let you take your pick.
Thank you.
There are too many of you for me alone, my little lambs.
Sorry, madam, but we're here to ask other favors of you. This question might seem a little surprising, but do you know who this earring might belong to?
Why? It's mine. I lost it when... How did you get hold of it?
Are you sure you want to broach that subject here?
You're right. Come with me. Well, what do you want? Why are you giving me back my earring?
You know where we found it, don't you?
Obviously. I realized as soon as I got back that I'd lost it.
I imagine your pimp does not know that you take part in these parties. He doesn't dabble in this at all?
No. Do not say anything to him, I beg you. He's on my case enough as it is.
Then I suggest you answer my questions.
What would you like to know?
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me. But I don't know them.
Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name.
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Do you think that an important person from Teleme could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Sorry, Father, I don't know the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Admit it, you must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I was able to recognize someone, once. Even with a mask on, I'm good at recognizing my clients.
Please continue. I'm all ears.
I don't want to implicate anyone, but he is of no real importance, and you've probably never even heard of him. It's the local moneylender.
I know very well who you're referring to, my dear.
But I didn't mention anything to you, huh? This stays between us.
I don't even remember the subject of this conversation anymore. This woman in the green coat, could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face and never joins us. Then she disappears into a little office and locks the door.
I see. She is quite important then. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person, so his name makes the rounds.
Have you ever spotted him at these pleasure parties?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard his name before, but that's all.
Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone. I'd lose my clients if they suspected me of speaking about them, you know.
Can I get you anything? Look who it is. I feel that...
I'm looking for a woman who comes here. She always wears a long green coat.
Yes, I have seen this coat before, but I have no idea who is beneath it, if that's what you're asking. All I know is that I've seen her speaking to a regular, a steward of the palace who comes to place big orders. Always prime choice.
I have to go. I will leave you to your work. Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
I'm looking for someone. A woman wearing a big green coat.
Yeah, I know who you mean. She's a good client. She comes in especially for the big fights, and she has prime information.
Do you know where I can find her?
No, I don't even know her name.
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings, would she?
No, and I can't really tell you when she'll show up next.
I must be going.
Next time, then.
So, how do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain candy cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Cornelia love betting games, but she also doesn't think twice about cheating to win.
Maybe he's just giving her advice. How can we prove anything?
We can always try asking him. Who knows? Perhaps he will give us an answer.
Going to my house. Too bad, a nice little bit of money for me.
Kill these blue bloods!
It must really suck to constantly dodging. Like, come on, go fight. Go rob someone.
Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
Desade, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. Legate or no legate.
Come on, it was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while. I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
I have faith in you, Father.
Natives are friendly.
Greenblood, my friend. My contacts have spoken. I was able to discover the location of this infamous Phantom training camp.
Do you still think they should be held accountable?
More than ever. You know that I recruited Rayner. I want to know what kind of hornet's nest I led him into. I want to know what these madmen did. But I fear if I go alone, I might not be able to control myself, and I won't learn anything. I need the help of my best student.
How can I refuse such a request? Well then, let's go.
Gonna be a busy area for us. Us. We'll end up doing. Oh, heck yeah. That's 1 for 1. I gotta buy more. a lot easier now. Be able to farm really fast. I want to go up here. Excuse me. I was gonna cover my mic. Get my mic. Look how you like tense up.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! To my health! And death to the others!
No one even saw that. I'm wondering why I'm headed up here. I thought there was something the hell? I think there's a big is this not the place? Am I wrong? I wanted to come up here for some crude iron. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh well.
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! To my health! And death to the others!
After we do the next couple, we're gonna do the Sierra quests. And then
And let's go!
after I do whatever Sierra quests are available, then I'm going to
Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! And death to the others!
get some more. I'll probably make it into some.
And death to the others!
I said that in the book the last time. I hit natural. I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really. When I get like more things taken care of, then I'll
I was informed of your arrival by my sentinels, but I didn't think it would be you, Kurt.
Rolf, you're the leader of this camp.
Do you two know each other?
We train together. We haven't seen each other in a long time. A very long time.
The world of warriors is very small, Kurt. What brings you here, my old comrade? And who are these people with you? They're not one of us?
My name is Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Captain Vasco. No need to comment about our distance from the sea. I know.
These people sure are important. So, what are you doing here?
I've heard things about this place. About this very special camp.
And we wanted to see what it was all about with our own eyes.
That's very nice of you, but visitors aren't welcome in this camp. What goes on here is only the guards' business.
Does the same apply to me?
Listen, Kurt. I can give you and your friends some answers, but only because it's you. Anyway, knowing you as well as I do, I'm aware I'm not going to get rid of you that easily. So, what would you like to know?
What is it you do here? And why is this place kept secret? Even from your comrades in the guard?
The natives have their magic, and we have to train elites to be able to face them. That's what we're doing here. Our role is sensitive, and our location obviously cannot be revealed to the whole island.
I see the reason for this kind of training. The Bridge Alliance would be particularly interested in soldiers like these. And yet I'd never heard of this elite squadron.
We're still in the early stages of the program. We don't want to rush things. And our leaders demand secrecy. Orders are orders.
This is a huge camp for such a secret location. How is it organized?
The main building is reserved for officers and the wounded. The front and rear of the camp are dedicated to combat training. But most exercises take place outside.
Impressive. And how do you manage recruitment?
Only the best come here. Those who have combat experience. Once they arrive, they're separated into 2 squadrons, each led and trained by a lieutenant. But you already know all of this, Kurt. It must bring back memories.
Yes.
Will you tell us about your training?
That's a sensitive topic. Most exercises take place in the field to get the men used to it. The natives' knowledge of the environment gives them as much of an advantage as their magic. But if you want to know more, you should ask my lieutenant instructors.
Actually, we found out about this camp while we were looking for someone.
A kid I recruited. Rainer.
Oh, I didn't know he was one of yours. My condolences. I was told he died in an accident in the harbour.
Don't insult my intelligence, Rolf.
All right. Since you're here, I guess there's no point in lying to you anymore. The accident occurred during a maneuver. It's regrettable that these things happen, you know?
We've taken up enough of your time, Captain.
I agree, and I have things to do.
I'd like to question your lieutenant instructors, if you don't mind. To ask them about Rainer.
You've become a real sap. Fine. But try not to disrupt the day's schedule too much. Goodbye.
I'm sorry. I couldn't contain my anger.
I noticed. Good thing you know this captain, sir.
Lieutenant.
Captain.
My friend here would like to learn more about this camp.
At your orders, Captain. Sir?
What kind of training takes place in your ranks?
Combat in natural settings. Combat against the savages' magic.
I'm very curious about how you train against the magic the natives use.
Now, these are complex, secret maneuvers. I'm very sorry, but I can't tell you anymore.
That's a pity. It would definitely be instructive.
Can you tell us about your squadron?
The recruits who come here are the best. And in my squadron, they get even better. I don't know what else to tell you. They're disciplined, rigorous, and effective. Exactly what you'd expect from the best soldiers.
I heard the recruit Rainer trained here. What can you tell me about him?
Oh, he was a good one. He died a little while ago.
So we've heard. Your captain told us he died during a maneuver. Can you tell us more?
The training we do outside can be dangerous. Unfortunately, Rainer fell to his death in a ravine.
He fell.
During a simulated ambush. I know, it's not glorious, but it happens. I'd like to get back to work now, if you'll allow it, Captain.
Go on. We're gonna go talk to some of your recruits.
I hope that it won't take too long. We're all very busy here.
We'll be quick, Lieutenant.
The story about training against magic is a lie. This lieutenant has no idea what he's talking about.
So what could they be training recruit?
Soldier!
Yes, Captain.
At ease. We have some questions for you.
Me? At your orders, Captain.
You look exhausted. Is training that rough here?
Well, it's difficult at first, but you get through it. Taming fatigue. That's the key to it all.
Haven't you ever wanted to stop? You've never doubted your vocation.
I'm not a coward, nor a weakling. The strength of the shadow.
What is that? Your motto?
Our squadron's, Captain.
You seem concerned about your comrades. You keep looking at them.
No, not at all.
Are you afraid of what they might think of you?
Absolutely not, Captain. We are all of one mind in this squadron. We are very united.
Since this is such a close-knit squadron, you must have known Rayner.
Yes, of course. But he's not part of the squadron any longer. He left.
Really?
I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, Captain. Rayner left the squadron because he was sent on a mission. There's nothing more to say.
Sorry, mate, but that's not what happened.
I don't know anything more.
Thank you. That will be all.
Thank you, sire. Captain?
Good heavens. I feel like a bogeyman.
These recruits are clearly scared to let any information slip.
It's as if their life depended on it. Lieutenant!
Respectfully, Captain.
Here is my friend, the legate of the merchant congregation. He would like to ask you a few questions.
At your orders. I'm listening, sires.
How did you become an instructor in this camp?
I have led numerous squadrons before, and I've trained hundreds of recruits on the continent. I worked with Captain Rolfe in the past, and when I arrived on the island, he recommended me for this position.
That's very impressive. And I expect that you're familiar with the natives' environment and magic.
Yes, of course.
What kind of training do your men undergo?
I can't go into details, but they learn discipline and to outdo themselves.
You mean to blindly follow orders, even to their death?
But No, Captain. We also teach them to analyze situations, so that they know when to act to avoid risking their lives.
How do the various squadrons in this camp differ from one another?
The recruits I train are intended to carry out more subtle actions.
Really? What kind?
I teach them how to blend into the background, understand customs, observe, and know when to strike.
That's strange. These skills are normally associated with assassins, rather than soldiers.
These skills are always useful, regardless of the enemy or the setting.
Kurt, don't you think that someone this talented fits what we're looking for? You see, we need to find someone who can replace Kurt to oversee my cousin's security.
Your cousin is the governor of New Serene, I've heard. It's a prestigious position. I don't doubt my abilities, but an offer like this, made so suddenly, must have a price.
We can't hide anything from you.
We're trying to find out what happened to Rayner, a recruit who trained here.
That name doesn't sound familiar. He must have been in the Shadow Squadron.
The other lieutenant's squadron?
Yes. I'm sorry, I haven't been much use to you. Did something happen to him?
He died. His body was thrown into the harbour to make it look like he drowned.
I guess it was one of your recruits. My condolences, Captain.
We'll question some of your soldiers.
At your orders, but please be quick. I'd like to get on with training.
Soldier!
Captain!
At ease, soldier.
You're very united in this squadron. At least, that's what I've been told.
United? You could say that, yes. Until death.
That's rather sinister. Does the name Rayner sound familiar to you?
Yeah? Well, no, not really.
You seem rather hesitant. Afraid of being reprimanded by your lieutenant?
No. Well, not at all. It's just that I can't tell you anything about Recruit Rayner. And we're lucky to have the lieutenant as our instructor, Captain.
We'd like to learn more about your training.
I have nothing to say about it, sir.
Really? Go on, it's not a difficult question. What do you do during training?
Is this a test, Captain?
No, it's not a test. You may speak freely.
Well, training is difficult, but we can't complain, Captain.
That's an interesting way to phrase it.
We should leave this soldier to his work.
Your name, soldier?
Wilhelm. First class recruit Wilhelm, Spectre Squadron.
Keep it up, Wilhelm.
This recruit, Wilhelm, in spite of himself, led on more than the others.
His resentment is...
Hello, soldier.
Captain! We need information. Your instructor authorized us to question you.
Of course, sire. I'm listening.
What's it like in your squadron?
Very good. The Phantom Squadron is made up only of the very best.
Do you trust your comrades?
We're like 5 fingers on one hand, sire. I would trust them with my life.
You've sure got the military spirit.
Yes, Captain.
How would you describe your training? Do you train outside the camp much?
Yes, we do. Well, not exclusively.
Really? Yet we've been told that your unit specialized in actions over difficult terrain.
Yes, I think so. Well, yes, that's true.
Problems remembering things, soldier?
No, Captain.
We've learned that a recruit died in an accident during a maneuver. Does this happen often?
No, of course not. Only to those who aren't strong enough.
That's strange. I was told that this recruit was very talented.
I don't know what to tell you. It's possible. If you don't mind, I'd like to get back to my training.
He seems afraid that an accident might befall him too.
No, it's not that. I just don't want to fall behind schedule.
Very well. Go on.
Excellent.
Schedule.
Captain.
Lieutenants, report.
Captain?
Could you give us a few minutes and take us around the site? I've never been here before, and I'm curious to see what goes on.
I'm not sure if we can, Captain.
We are on duty, Captain.
Right, Lieutenant. Let's go.
Are
you coming with us?
No, thank you. I'd rather stay here. Take in some fresh air.
As you like. In that case, see you later.
Get pranked. Mr. Prank, bruh.
Wilhelm, we need to talk. And don't worry. Kurt will make sure your superior doesn't come this way.
Why are you doing this?
We didn't think you'd say anything as long as she was here.
If you noticed, others will have too. They'll make me pay.
Even more reason to talk. If we have proof, we can take action and close this camp.
Very well. What would you like to know?
What's really going on here? We know that Rayner didn't die in an accident.
This is supposed to be a training camp for the Guard's elite. Only the most talented recruits are allowed to join. This is an immense honor, an extraordinary chance. That's what we're told every day. But in reality, it's just hell.
Tell me about the training you undergo here.
It's more torture than anything else. We're constantly beaten and humiliated, and the slightest complaint only leads to more blows. They even push us to police one another, so we don't dare talk. Whatever the orders, we put our heads down, grit our teeth, and obey.
All they leave you with is your survival instinct. Obey or die. It's inhuman.
I heard them tell you about the specialist training against the natives in hostile environments. But what they teach us would be more useful for assassins.
As for Rayner, do you know what happened to him?
Yes. One day he just couldn't stand it any longer. He disobeyed orders, he fought back, and people got hurt. That's when things blew up. They summoned him for night training.
What does that entail?
It doesn't have much to do with real training. They call us up for it at the last minute. The weakest serve as punching bags for the others, who are encouraged to beat them. If we refuse, we too become the targets. So we join in.
and strike. If you're looking to punish Rayna's murderer, you can start with me. We all have his blood on our hands.
Thank you for telling us all of this. You should get back to your comrades.
I hope you can do something. Have this camp closed. Otherwise, I'll soon be as dead as Rayna.
We understand the risk you've taken. We won't let you down.
Thank you. Really. That was truly fascinating.
Captain?
I've seen everything I needed to see. You can leave us.
Yes, Captain.
Shall we go?
Kurt, Willem has spoken.
What did he tell you?
He said the recruits go through hell. They're humiliated, spy on each other, get bullied. It's essentially torture. Rayna wouldn't stand for these methods. He rebelled and was summoned for night training.
Are you sure he used that term?
Yes, but he told me it's not really training. The recruits are summoned.
And the others beat them, sometimes to death. I know.
You knew about this kind of training?
Yeah. I thought it was a thing of the past. What a monster. How dare he?
I'm so sorry. I'm lost for words. Tell me, did you learn anything new?
I scouted out the site. There's 2 parts of the barracks we should look at more closely. Rolf's quarters and the basement, which they refused to open for me.
We can't just barge in and hope they give up. What's your plan?
Let's wait for nightfall. We'll sneak into the camp unseen, search the barracks, the private quarters, and then the basement.
We might also try to find out where this night training takes place.
Yes. I wouldn't want other young recruits to lose their lives tonight. Especially Wilhelm.
Strange. There's no one left in this part of the camp.
Maybe they're in the combat pit behind the barracks. I saw it when I visited the camp. Or they've already left for their night training. Let's find Rolf's office. He surely has the key to the basement.
Locked. This letter is disturbing, Kurt. It confirms that several deaths have been disguised in order to keep this camp secret. But it says that the recruits trained here have been assigned to governors from different cities. And yet I'm sure that Constantine knows nothing about these elite units. The conclusion of the letter also confirms that the commander is pleased with what's been going on here.
So Torsten knew?
So it seems. Including about the deaths.
He's gone too far. He dishonors us all. Sieglinde was right.
This room. What could have happened in here?
I know this smell only too well. Fear, blood, death.
And to think I complained about the Nords' training practices, but this is horrific, Kurt.
This document explains a lot. They torture the soldiers to break them. Rayna shows up on this list more than once. he gave them a lot of problems.
Those who resist too much are lynched during night training. Rolf, you'll pay for this.
Kurt, Wilhelm's name was added to tonight's training.
The boy will pay the ultimate price for having helped us.
We can't let them kill him. We must stop this training immediately.
The risk is that Rolf will ambush us.
If this boy dies because of us, I will never forgive myself. I refuse to let these recruits pay for the bastards who manipulate them. Let's avoid spilling blood in vain.
You're a good captain, Kurt, but I hope you understand they won't hold back on us.
They're just kids. There has to be a way to reason with them.
We'll do what we can, Kurt. I can't promise anything more.
I want to see if I sneak in back. Oh, I can't leave here.
Despite what Wilhelm told me, I wasn't expecting this. He's getting destroyed.
They'll kill him. We can't let them get away.
Stop! We won't let you kill this boy like you killed Rainer.
Soldiers! Do you realize what you're doing?
Captain? But...
You shouldn't be here. This time, you won't get away with it. To arms!
Do you know what happens to those who die in this regiment? Their bodies are thrown out like those of rabid animals. If you die here, you'll die without glory. No one will ever know what happened to you. I doubt that's what they promised you when you joined the Guard.
No. No, of course not.
A good soldier doesn't fight for glory. He fights to be the best.
Really? Then the Guard really has changed. Did you recruits leave your families to end up lynched and thrown into a ditch?
No. You're right, Captain. We never should have ended up here.
Traitors! Cowards! Deserters!
Bit of poison on my blade.
Will you be alright?
I'm wounded, but I'll survive. Thanks to you. I'm eternally grateful.
Come, Wilhelm. We'll help you get home. We owe you that at least.
I'm counting on you to bring him back to the camp in one piece.
Yes, Captain.
Well then, let's go. We can't let that vermin Rolf escape us. Let's hope that Rolf didn't hear the sounds of combat. Surprise is our best ally.
You're right. Let's try to approach discreetly.
They're just in a bad spot. It's very unfortunate. Come on, move. Dude, really? What am I supposed to do if he's not moving?
It's blocked.
How am I supposed to do this? There's no way for me to do this. Um. my god. It must have been like broken or glitched or something. I need to get behind those bags, but I got glitched. There we go.
Nobody saw us. All we have to do is ambush them. Rolf, you bastard, how could you be part of this disgrace?
You know that this is how the best soldiers are made. Soldiers, grab your weapons! Death to the traitors!
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind you of the Guard's motto? Where is your honor?
I won't repeat myself, recruits. Execute these traitors!
Soldiers, listen to your captain. You are the victims of these monsters, and we are here to save you. We're doing our best to avoid a fight, to spare your lives.
Well, what do you want us to do? We have orders, and we know what will happen to us if we don't obey. Enough! To arms! Attack!
All this bullying and humiliation is only intended to turn you into weapons, not soldiers. And when a weapon is no longer needed, its owner throws it away rather than risk injury. That's why Raina was disposed of.
Being a soldier doesn't mean being a puppet. Put your weapons down.
They're right, mates. I don't want to end up in the harbour. What do you think, soldier? You think we can trust them?
It's over, Lieutenant. These recruits won't do your dirty work for you anymore.
Congratulations, Lieutenant. You've trained cowards. Their training wasn't finished, Captain, and the speeches were so convincing. Silence! Where is this second squadron? Should have been here a long time ago.
They're not coming, Rolf.
They surrendered too. It would appear that your training methods aren't very effective.
Now that you no longer have lackeys to send after us, Rolf, you'll have to get your own hands dirty.
I've dreamt of shutting that big mouth of yours up for so long.
A bit of poison on my blade. A bit of poison on my blade.
Will you be all right, Kurt?
Yes. Yes, I'll be fine. I'm just glad to know that this camp won't kill anyone else.
What about you, Wilhelm?
Thank you for saving my life. Without you...
I hope you can forget all about this. This is not what the Guard is about.
I don't know if you'll be able to forgive us, Wilhelm.
I've been in your shoes on other nights. You didn't have the choice.
While we wait for this camp to close for good, you'll be under Wilhelm's command. You'll soon receive your transfer orders.
At your orders, Captain. Glad it's you, Wilhelm.
You'll stay here for now. I'll send men I trust to come get you soon.
What do you want us to do?
I'll need backup if I really want to put an end to all of this. We must go see Major Sieglinder in New Serene. I need to tell her what was going on here.
Are you sure she wasn't involved?
Her? Never. She's old school. She already held the commander at a distance because she didn't like the direction the guard was headed. He would have sacked her, or worse, if she didn't have so much support within the guard. I should have listened to her.
There's no use brooding over the past. Let's go. We'll go and see her immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Sieglinder, I need to talk to you.
What's the matter, Kurt?
We've just returned from a training camp. A secret camp, where elite soldiers are trained through terror, humiliation, and torture.
Don't tell me that.
Yes. One of my recruits died, and he wasn't the only one.
What's the point of this
It is
conversation?
designed to create a regiment of assassins.
I am sorry, Kurt. I knew something was wrong, but I never would have thought it'd go that far.
We put an end to it all. We had to. But Torsten allowed it, even encouraged it.
I told you that the commander's ambition would end up leading us astray from the ideals of the Guard, and that we would pay the price for it.
Yes. At the time, I told you you were exaggerating. That he had his reasons.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to speak out, Sieglinder. And reveal the commander's project to the governor of the congregation.
If I were as close to him and his family as you are, I would have done so a long time ago.
I know. I feel so stupid for not having understood Torsten's scheme until now.
You've always been a loyal person, Kurt. And too many loyalties are sometimes hard to reconcile. But Torsten betrayed us all. I'm counting on you to make him pay for it.
Believe me, he won't get away with it. Goodbye, Sieglinder.
Goodbye, Kurt. My men and I stand with you.
See, there wasn't really much point to this end conversation. I wonder why it happened. The lighting as soon as you get in here just gets like red. Then it's usually if it gets pretty clear. Because of the baked lightings in there, it's just really weird in my opinion.
Oh, it's a great pleasure to see you again at the Forge. What can I do for you? Want armor that fits you like a glove? We'll make it for you.
Hey, Kurt. There you go.
Oh, it's a great pleasure to see you again at the Forge. What can I do for you?
There you go, Kurt.
Want armor that fits you like a glove? Oh, it's you, Norman, are we?
You know what? We're gonna end this video here. I hope you all had a wonderful day. And until next time, Bye. Like and subscribe.